So I took my field trip to Panera Bread and I examined the physical and virtual space features, focusing on color, space, menu, access to materials, and sound for the physical space, and color, pattern, hyperlinks, resources, news, and social media connections for the virtual space. I took some pictures while I was there of the physical space, and I noticed that there was use of visuals either through physically using food or pictures of food, and there was text to accompany and enhance the visuals. All the text also included the calorie count, which I'm sure research shows can entice individuals to buy or not buy different types of food. The main mode of design that I felt was important in the physical space, which is different than the virtual space, is the actual use of space. It helps to make meaning. And in Roswell, it was quoted, one of the case studies by Robbins, it says, I think a good design, apart from function and context, is about space and proportions and geometry and symmetry and axis and all the things coming together, which was certainly true of this space. It was purposefully and carefully designed. Um, the other piece when they were talking about space was light and how that was used. And I noticed that the furniture was really light and allowed light to flow through. Um, Lakoslawczyk, which was one of the case studies, stated, you take down walls or cut out little areas to give a feeling of space without having to increase the square footage. And here you can see there's a lot of open space and a lot of half walls. There are no full walls in the place. While there are different sections created, no walls go floor to ceiling. They all have that flow through feeling to allow light to come in. And it has that orderly view that is created. And the question that often gets asked is, how is this space used? And it's certainly made to feel welcoming in a place that you can sit and eat. But it's different than a fancy restaurant. It's a kind of place that allows you to sit and eat alone or with a group of friends. And the color palette was very muted, lots of tans, greens, and rust colors. Nothing really bright, which you can see in this photograph over here. When looking at their digital space, interface became the mode of design that was really important to look at, more so than physical space. The first thing I noticed, which was unique to me when I was reading, was that it has this F pattern that people read in, that all the important information and links are at the top, and then there's information going down. It also starts with a photograph that allows you to look at the food and contains a hyperlink to order now, which leads me to the next important piece. The mode of design here is really hyperlinks. You can click on lots of different things to get to lots of different places. So it's a convergence of, not only is this a place to find information, but it's a place where you can actively interact between the two. If you look at the next page, the things that are below the fold, I had never realized that that was something that was paid attention to in design, and that this is the stuff that they view as less important. It contains their social media links and some other news and information. It has the same color scheme as the digital space, which I thought was interesting, and it also contains a place to interact. If you look at the main website, you can click here and find their menu items. There's also stories, recipes, and feature articles, how they're used in the community, finding locations, and you can even create a personal profile, which personalizes the experience on the virtual space. They also contained a mobile app, which was different. It did not have the same amount of information. It focused mostly on ordering and cafe locator, and that more than likely is because they find that mobile users are not looking to find recipes and additional information. It says there is an art to giving hypertext an interface designed to link diverse eclectic text and to drive the content and navigate readers. It also says the text is not static, it signals and leads to other text and drives readership. So my imagination would lead me to believe that their research shows that mobile users do not look for additional information. They're looking to order and locate a cafe. So when you're comparing and contrasting these two different places, they definitely serve their purpose well. And there is an amount of continuity between them in terms of what the menu says, the content, the color, and the information that you can find. But how you interact within the physical space and the virtual space is very different. The design strands that I saw being used strongly in both places were both convergence, which allowed different uses for the space, as well as participation structures. The physical space obviously invites the viewer or participant to participate through eating and ordering. The digital space invites people to look at the different pieces, gain more information, as well as order and pick up and eat. So it was very interesting to compare both of these places from a design perspective.